In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the new DocuSign integration that is available within CFPwinMan SDB. We'll go through creating a document to send across to DocuSign for signing. We'll go through the process of sending the envelope and then how we can monitor feedback within the product. Okay, so first of all, let's open up a document that we want to get electronically signed, and we'll insert the merge codes that we need to put in there that tell DocuSign who's signing. So here's my agreement. I'm going to scroll through to the bottom where I've got my sections where I want the landlords and the tenants to sign the document. I'm going to put my cursor where I want to insert my merge code and pop up to merge codes, insert field, and you can see there's a host of new DocuSign merge codes. Now, I'm not going to go through each one in this tutorial. I'm going to concentrate on landlord and tenant merge codes. They will merge all associated landlords and tenants to the tenancy. So if it's a shared ownership property or if it's joint tenancy, you're going to get all the tenants and landlords merged in one go to sign the document. We also have horizontal and vertical merge codes. The verticals will place the recipient's name one after the other, and the signature will appear on the right, as you'll see in a moment. And with the horizontal, the names will appear next to each other across the page and the signatures will be under the names. So let's insert my vertical landlord signature block, and you can see that's now inserted into the document. Now under here I'm going to put my tenants. So again, mail merge, insert field, and this time I want my tenant signature block. You can see you've also got guarantors there if you need to merge your guarantors in. Oops, I didn't insert it. Let's do that again. Double click to insert them. Okay, so now I've got my two signature blocks in my document. Now I could individually go and merge this document by going and locating clients, but I'm going to use a quick letter button. So I'm going to save my changes. Back on the tenancy, I've got my button with my tenancy agreement connected to it. So if I press that button now, up pops my tenancy agreement with all the merged information from the tenancy record, and right at the bottom I've got my signature block. Now you can see I've got my two landlords there because this is a joint ownership property, and I have my one tenant. I can print this document now and get it signed manually, or I could email it as I could do before, but I don't want to do that. I want to send it to DocuSign for an electronic signature. So I hit the DocuSign button and the new DocuSign screen appears. So there's a few things to mention on here. First of all, the envelope reference. You're asked to give the envelope that you send a reference so you can find it again easily afterwards, because obviously you could have multiple signing processes occurring at one time. In here is the email subject and email body that will form part of the email that gets sent to each recipient. Over here is a list of the documents that will be sent in the envelope. I've just got the one at the instance. And down here you've got your recipients, the people who will be receiving the document to sign. The email addresses here for the landlords are being pulled from the landlord information screen. You can overwrite these if you want to. You'll also have a drop down where if there are more than one email address associated with the record, you can pick which email address you want to send it to. You'll also notice here that the tenant is blank. That's because there is no email address on my tenant information record. But I can just go ahead and type in here and make sure this person receives the email asking them to sign the document. Bear with me. Okay, so let's tick to include that. So now I'm going to send the email across to my three recipients. So once this screen is all set up correctly, I just hit post envelope and wait a few moments while that request is sent via DocuSign to the recipients. Okay, so now I know that the envelope has been sent across via DocuSign for signature. So if I look at the history log now for this particular tenancy record, you can see I've got an item dated today and this time, and my reference that I set up on the template. I can view the letter here as I always could, the merged copy of the letter. And I can also hit the information button, which will take me to the DocuSign feedback screen for this particular envelope. I'll look at this screen a bit more in just a moment, and I'll show you how you access that a different way. But from the history log you can get here, and it will just go to the one particular envelope that you've selected in the tenant's history log. The other way that you can access that screen is via reporting DocuSign envelope status, and this will open with and it will show all the envelopes that you've sent or are in the process of sending for signature via DocuSign. You've got options at the top here where you can filter the list of envelopes at the bottom here, so you can see I've got completed ones showing. I can choose to hide those, or I could show cancelled ones. I can filter by the date the envelope was sent for signature. I can filter by the reference that I typed in earlier. I can filter by the user that sent the envelope, or I can even filter down to the particular recipient that had the document to sign. But let's focus now on the actual signing process itself. So at the moment, all of my recipients, it just says that the document has been sent. That means that it's left CFPwinMan and it's been sent to the recipient via the DocuSign system. So let's now go to what the recipient will see. So if I open up one of the emails that have been sent, obviously this would be the name. Standard entry is the name of the user I'm logged into CFP as. That would be the user's name, and this here is the details of the document that was sent, the subject and document body. So if I open that up, and bring that over here, so the recipient will then be taken to the DocuSign screen. They'll be able to review the document they're being asked to sign, and they can just scroll down to the very end and they can say that they want to sign that. So I hit that. Now I've signed before as Mr. Brimmer, so it's adopted this particular signature, so I can say yep, adopt that and sign, and then finish. And that's the signing process complete for Mr. Brimmer. So now let's take a look on how that, let's hide those completed ones. Let's have a look at this here. So we can see that the status for Brimmer has changed to delivered, but it should, if I refresh again, change to completed. Okay, it's just taking a little while to come back. There you go, completed. So the feedback is fairly quick, as you can see, but it does take a little while. But in the real world, obviously, when you're not checking every 5 seconds for signature, then you should get fairly up-to-date feedback as you come into this screen. So that's one person who's completed the signing process. So if I just show something different here, this is the next person. If I open the document but don't actually sign it, and in fact whilst that's doing, I'm going to do the same thing on the other person as well. So let's open both the documents to sign. So now both of the other recipients haven't signed yet, but they've opened the email. So what we should see, is our status change to be delivered, because delivered indicates that the recipient has received the email and opened it. So you can see that once all recipients have moved into a delivered or completed state, so everyone's opened the email basically, everyone's seen the document, our envelope status changes to be delivered. So now let's go ahead and sign on behalf of those landlords. So let's start the signing process and sign for Mr. King. And here we are, let's sign on behalf of the other landlord as well. It's Mr. Stewart. Okay, and now our feedback form, if we refresh, should change again because these two are no longer delivered, they've actually completed. And you can see it's vanished because we're filtering out completed items. So we're only showing sent and delivered items. If I tick to include completed, now I can see my completed document. I can double click here and it will open a copy of the signed document for review and for print. I can see that. I'll also get this option to view certificate, and in here this is a document that is provided from DocuSign which details the time the document was sent for signature, the time each recipient viewed the document for signature, and lastly when it was signed. You can even see here the IP address that was used to sign the document, so the machine itself that was used. Once again, just to show you, going from the actual tenancy record, if I go to look at the history log, again I've got my envelope there. If I go to information, it's going to take me to that particular envelope, and again I can see my certificate and my signed agreement. So that just about wraps up the tutorial on sending and signing via the DocuSign integration.